is No Gifts Please, the parenting podcast by the pair with no real gifts, but a whole lot of gumption. Hey everyone, I'm Steve Noviello.
And I'm Jenny Ann Chondo.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Have you started any of the etiquette information that we last learned?
It's just that I've always been so polite. No, I think the next big implementation is to make sure that we know the last names of people in general. And I will also say it's come up with you and Doug before.
Because we have different last names.
Yes. And with her wondering which ones, so she sees you on TV a lot and hears you and everything like that. And I think feels a certain level of comfort with just Steve. And you introduce yourself as Steve Noviello and she hears me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so there's like this level of comfort. I almost feel like she would be more likely to call Doug by his last name than you. But what we're learning from Mrs. McVeigh is that they're all supposed to do it.
It's interesting. The mistake that we make is I do nothing and just think to myself, they'll figure it out. Right? As opposed to like offering direction. Let's just see what they call it. We did that with our name. People said, listen, if you don't give these children something to call you, they will name you. And now we are Tall Daddy and Young Daddy for the rest of our lives.
For the rest of your lives. And now Brighton, well, that's what I'm saying. Brighton has talked before. Well, which one's tall and which one's young? I'm like, yeah, those names are not for you.
They're not really, nor are they accurate. But Doug is both taller and younger. Speaking of which, you mentioned, she sees you on TV. What is her relationship? Does she get that Hudson is suddenly acutely aware that people know who I am. He asked me the other day, he was like, he saw the drone show, right? And that my
deal.
name was in lights over
cool
downtown Dallas. He said, Daddy, you're famous. And I said, well, I have a job that a lot of people have access to, I said, but the most important thing to me is you and your brother and whatever. And he said, well, do you ever he said, but everybody knows your name. And I said, a lot of people do. I said, because I work really hard and, blah, blah, blah. He said, well, do you think you could say my name on TV so I could be famous? And I was like, I said, well, I do talk about you
yes.
a lot. But that's like, it's like, how do I in this moment navigate that shouldn't be your goal? Like, I don't want that to be your goal, although I understand let's be honest, it's certainly a part of, I always tell people there's a very good reason why I was like, I'm not going to be a print journalist because you don't you don't get to be on TV. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying. I did study print journalism. That's what my
I taught print journalism at North Carolina A&T. But I would be a fraud to say, hey, I don't love that part of what I do. But I also, especially in this day and age of social media, don't want my 6-year-old to be hyper-focused on also being somebody who people know.
That's interesting. I don't
know how to navigate that. Do you deal with it with her at all? I don't worry about it as much
because the level of notoriety that we have is so lackluster in comparison to the type of celebrity that's up and coming now on social media.
Correct.
It's dated. It's passe. It's old. I mean, it's cool for us. I'm incredibly grateful for my career. I know you are for yours, but it's like, listen, they want to be like a YouTube star. They don't really want to be us.
But to a 6-year-old, it's like, because we get, and see, I don't know if I think because of my role of helping people for so many decades, people are very comfortable. We will be out very regularly and people will come over and say hello, want to take a
selfie.
I mean, that kind of thing.
You also post the selfies sometimes.
Correct.
So then people have
which encourages people to do that.
Do it,
or we'll walk into a restaurant and I'll give a name and somebody will look up and be like, oh my gosh, hi, whatever. And I can see that they are starting to get that.
Brighton totally has that. And I've started to bring her on shoots occasionally and her role has started to
increase. More front of the house.
Yes. Well, before I would let her come and be B-roll only if the segment, for
was
example,
about kids.
Yeah. Or if we're shooting at a place, like let's say we're shooting at Peppa Pig
and there's a bunch of people
there. And yes, technically you are allowed to get video of those kids. But as a mother, I am not interested in getting video of somebody else's child without their permission. That they say to me, mom, yes, I'm cool, add my kid, but I know they're going to be in there. So I'll take Brighton or some other friends or people like that, so that I know, hey, they're going to come with me for the day. We're going to get close-up shots. It's going to be their faces. They're going to go down the slides, that sort of thing. So it started off with that. Then it became, okay, I need to be able to give her direction, because I need you to go down this slide for a tight shot, a wide shot, a laughing shot, and I need you to actually act this out, even if you're not feeling it. And that's actually a learned skill for a child. It's not easy at all, because even if they're not in the mood and it's almost nap time or something, you need to go down the slide, and you can't be grumpy down the slide because we're doing this as a fun video.
Right.
So she could choose to do it or not. She would always say, yes, I want to do it and participate. Then I started giving her a memorized line like, welcome to the Ritz-Carlton. We're making pizza.
Right.
That was a memorized line. Then just once we did one recently where she did, she was my taste tester for a popsicle DIY hack we were trying. And she did really well. And she really, like, I felt like she was enjoying the moment and enjoying kind of coming up with commentary and stuff. But we made it clear that this is work.
Right.
And I think she understands now too. It's actually hard. I think doing that has made her less likely to want to be famous, because she sees it is certainly fun, but you also, even when you don't feel like it, you need to react, and you need to wear your hair a certain way, and you have to pick out of the set approved outfits that we picked out. You can't just wear like your
it's
old
funny because
t-shirt.
we have a different experience in that. Like the type of media that you do is more sponsored and is more I don't want to call it staged, but you know what I mean. It's a lot of it's promotional in nature. You know, some of the time.
I mean, I've never taken her to a client segment,
right?
But it's like, it's just fun family things to do is what we cover.
Yeah.
And so,
like we don't even
fun.
like, I won't even do when it's like the kids' birthday. Someone's like, oh, were they on good day birthdays? I'm like, absolutely not. I don't put my children's pictures on TV at all. Which maybe that's
But you put it on social.
No. Nope. Maybe on
maybe
my
I see 'em your personal social.
And even that I really am very cautious about.
Yeah.
My work social, never.
I must be seeing,
like
I think
as an infant, perhaps. But no,
I get that.
Maybe like the back of your head, something. And then I'm like, okay, what is it about this moment that I feel like I want to compromise that rule that we have?
I totally get that.
And is it really worth it? Because now it's like, okay, well, I'm doing this. Anyway, I was just curious.
I totally get that. And I think there's every reason to do that. I think that's super smart, super savvy. Yeah, she loves participating, and she loves sort of like being a part of it, but she's realized it is work. Mm-hmm. It's not just going and having fun, because you might have to do that same slide 100 times. You don't get to do the water park because that's not what we're covering today, or that's not what we're shooting today. But I mean, right now it's so bad with kids wanting to be like social media stars. It's like all that any of us can do.
I mean, his is innocent. It's like, wow, do you think it's in a very like, you know, like, wow, would I be famous if you said my name? And again, thinking that like,
that's cute.
Uttering your name once on television now, like that gives you, whatever.
Well, for a moment, this was probably 2 or 3 years ago, Brighton thought that everybody's parents worked at TV stations. Did you know that?
That's funny.
So we spent a ton of time with Amy Vanderoff. So she hosted Morning Texas for a long time, and now she does HSN and other promotional. We spend a lot of time with you. A couple friends are producers and work behind the scenes, and we would go to other like media events. Hillary Kennedy, we hung out with her son Fox. She works in TV. I mean, that was just who she knew. And so she said to somebody like, so what show does your mom work on? Just like, they're like, my mom's a doctor. Like they don't work on a show. So she figured that out. But I will say the one time during the pandemic, I was broadcasting from home, and she connected it and was freaking out. So excited that she saw us broadcasting and saw it on TV. And then she saw me once on a DART bus.
Oh, that's fancy.
That's what did it. And
that's
she actually
fancy.
Still talks about it kind of
I've
regularly.
never been on a bus. Doug's been on a DART bus.
Oh, like modeling?
Resource One Credit Union when he worked there. Within like a year of us living here, he was on the side of a DART bus for like years.
How did I just learn about this?
Yeah, I have pictures.
This is amazing. I love that. Okay, we're gabbing, and I have spent so much time.
You have a game.
Coming up with a game. I wanted to do like a Would You Rather. Mostly.
I'm in.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay.
Drum roll, please. Would you rather step on a Lego barefoot or get marker on your white couch?
Oh, Lego for sure.
Right? That was too easy.
Like, is the, no. First of all, who's buying a white couch? Like,
I feel like you might.
Well, we just bought that new leather sofa, and then not a week later, Hudson was like, Daddy, come here, I have to show you something. And Doug loves this, like, you probably do too, this like mineral sunscreen that like goes on with a butter knife, essentially. Like it is and it gets white, even when it's rubbed into you, like it leaves a white
but it's reef
residue.
safe and toxin free.
Right. Like the turtles and everybody else and the plastic and the chloroflora, whatever. It stains your furniture. It does. We have like handprints because we have black trim on our house. Like there's handprints on the woodwork on the exterior of our house. The inside of my car has what? So Hudson was like, look. And I was like, son of a... But I got it out.
I relate to this. Oh, I'm glad you got it out. Look at you. Okay. Would you rather deal with a meltdown in a grocery store, public place like that, or an airplane?
Grocery store, for sure. We've had it in an airplane. When we were coming home with Hudson from Christmas, maybe one year, I forget what it was. He was inconsolable, like terribly inconsolable. I mean, screaming on a plane to the point where we're like hiding in the men's room with the baby during the flight. Oh. And you're like, what do I do? There's nowhere to go.
I see what you're saying, because at least at a store you can escape.
You can escape. Yes.
I always feel like people they expect it on a plane, whereas in a store they're like, you're a bad parent. That's why I felt like the question was a little fair.
Before I had children and I saw a child misbehaving, I thought to myself, oh, that poor kid. And now I think to myself, oh, those poor parents.
Totally. Would you rather never do school drop off or pick up again, or never pack another school lunch again? And I don't know if that pertains to you. Do you pack school lunch?
Yes and no, but I would. I love drop off and pick up. Are you kidding? It's like the social hour of the.
I love it too.
Love it. I don't do pick up because they stay at aftercare, and I'm working still when they're out. But school drop off, I love it. We have a routine. Alexa tells us to get in the car. We go. We play a game with based on, they know 7:35 we're supposed to be in the car, so we get in. We look at the clock. What time is it? Oh, it's 7:37. Okay, how many minutes behind are we? How many minutes early are we? We do a little math.
Smart.
And then we drive to school, and we have to turn down a street that's also bears the same name as the street that my parents live on and that I grew up on. So we're like, Grandma and Grandpa's street. And my parents, because we live in the Northeast, like their address is, let's say, 5. Like it's a single digit. But here in Texas, the addresses are like in the thousands, right? Like, is your address 4 digits?
Yeah.
Okay. So like in the Northeast, like the streets, like
there's just so many people, or what?
No, it's just like the beginning of the block starts with 1. That's that.
Oh.
Right. Like, and they just here, it's like, okay, this block of Smith Street, this is the 4,000 block. This is the 4,100 block.
Oh, okay.
So because we live on the 5,600 block of our, or when we turn onto that street, it's like the 5,600 block. They think it's the same street that my parents live on because they live at number 5. So if 5 is on Long Island, the street by the time it gets to Dallas must be 5,600 houses later.
Right.
Yeah. It's a fun little game.
That's fun.
We have the same parking spot every day.
I need to gamify the morning routine a little bit more. I feel like I get to just like, oh my gosh, we're running late. I
have to be better about the running late thing. I feel like I make our kids a little bit anxious. I have to remember things like Jacob needs extra time to tie his shoes because he's a little bit of a perfectionist. Hudson necessarily does not. We play games like don't step on the crack, when we're walking. Then there's the crossing guard. We say hi, all of that. You
don't drop off. You fully stop. Walk.
I don't carpool in the morning. We stop, we park 2 blocks away, and then we walk, and I walk them all the way to their classrooms. Not Jacob, Hudson. We do a big hug at the front.
Okay.
And tell everyone to have a good day. And then Jacob runs up to the part of the school where he goes, and Hudson and I walk all the way to his classroom. While he'll still let me.
Yes, making your tour.
Okay, making my tour, saying hi to the other parents, the other moms and dads. I love it.
Would you rather get your child to sleep instantly at bedtime or have them wake up happy every morning? Like no grogginess.
How bad is the getting to sleep if I choose the other one?
I know, right?
We have, I remember I was sharing a couple of shows ago, we have at dinner time, they're suddenly full of life.
Wiggly.
And bedtime, same thing. Alexa makes that announcement and all of a sudden they're just super wiggly. And it's like, oh, guys, I don't love that the last thing we do every night is reprimand you. Please.
No, I hate that.
It makes me so sad because then I get into my head, God forbid something happens. This is the last experience I have with you.
And then Brighton will do, I know I'm such a bad kid.
Oh, God.
Do they do that?
No.
They don't?
No.
I'm the worst.
No.
Ugh.
No.
They don't say that?
No.
So like what I need to figure this
and if they did, isn't that a nice opportunity for a conversation about why you're not a bad kid? Like, hey, you're doing something that I don't love, and you're doing something that you know is not part of our routine.
I try that. It just
I know.
She has a tough time with critiques,
right?
Or just
of herself or from you, and then she's hard on herself because of it.
From me, and then she's hard on herself, and then I feel bad because I said it. But then I'm also like, what am I going to like? But you do have to get ready. Like you do have to do the thing that I'm asking you to do, and just do it. Because I don't want to do this.
Right.
We need to I don't know. If anybody knows an expert on this exact topic, have them call me. I need them to be interviewed or come to my house immediately.
But don't you think they're going to sit here and say to us, listen, you have to stand firm. You have to remind your kid and you have to walk through it as opposed to around it.
I am working through it, but I don't want her to feel like, oh, I'm such a bad kid because she's not.
I know. But I think that, again, you remind people like, hey, you're not a bad kid. You're just not behaving in a way that you know you're supposed to.
Speaking of bad kids, would you rather your child get in trouble for swearing around classmates or disrespecting a teacher?
Aren't they both the same? But
what would you rather?
Would I rather my kid using foul language around classmates? Is it at recess or is it during the class?
School.
Like in the classroom?
Yes.
Using foul language.
But not to the teacher or disrespecting the teacher to his or her face.
No, that's not. No, I would rather them use foul language.
Me too.
Once, when I was in third grade, Mrs. Walensky, who was my third grade teacher, I'd done something or whatever it was. She got mad at me and she reprimanded me. And I said, "You've got a mouth like a sewer," which is a line I had picked up from watching Laverne and Shirley the night before.
That's hilarious.
And she made me sit in the cafeteria and write an apology letter to her. And the most terrifying part of that was that our class period was over for lunch. So I had to sit there while the fourth graders ate lunch, of whom I was petrified of. And that was like the worst part of that punishment. And I remember, it's a core memory. I remember to this day sitting there and not knowing how to spell sewer. Like I had a Q in it at some point. But yeah, I'll never forget Mrs. Walensky. If you happen to, actually, she was Miss Walensky, and then she became Mrs. Sherman the year after I had her. She got married.
Hello, Mrs. Sherman.
Hello, Mrs. Sherman. Thank you for the lesson. I don't know if you're listening.
This next one is probably based on personal experience and thought. But would you rather think back, rewind a few years? Would you rather have a baby who sleeps through the night but never naps, or one who naps great during the day but then wakes up during the night?
Sleeps through the night, never naps.
I agree.
For sure.
Oh, I agree. We've been struggling lately.
Like when we had the night nanny, which was the best money we ever spent on both children, other than to create them.
I'm still recovering from the fact that I did not have one and didn't take your advice.
Wasn't even so much what she did, although she was great. It was the notion that we knew if we could just make it to 9:00, the cavalry was coming.
Oh.
And it's like good night's sleep. I'm a better dad. We're both better dads. Like, I'm not worried about this. I will see you in the morning when you leave at 6 a.m. or whatever, whatever it is.
And you're going to be refreshed.
And I'm going to be refreshed and you're going to be whatever you are, but I will have slept the night and hopefully, and honestly, so will my child because she was really good at sleep training.
Well, that's great. I'm so glad that you were such a good parent from the jump and knew everything to do. Good for you. Okay.
Now, our neighbors had kids like right before us, and the dad was like, I was like, how's it going? He's like, dude, night nanny. Like, you got to get a night nanny. Like, it's the best. I was like,
it felt like such an expense. It felt like such a vast expense.
Well, I just thought it was
I remember.
funny.
I was also nursing. That's why I didn't do it.
Right. But I was saying to him, I was like, why is your wife getting up and nursing disturbing your sleep? Like, what? Like, why are you such a proponent of the night nanny?
It's also, if you're nursing, from what I understand, it's like the fact that you can just unlatch and the night nanny changes them, gets them burped, gets them down, because all of that time just adds up so much. So, okay, well, with my third child, I'll do it. Just kidding, Heath. Oh my gosh, he's going to kill me and cancel the podcast. Okay, last one here. Would you rather your child excel in school but despise sports, or excel in sports but despise school?
Is there a question?
I think for some people there is. I don't think for you there is, but
I would much rather you despise sports and excel at school.
I was kind of doing this with the audience in mind too, like thinking, talk amongst yourselves. Yeah. Ask your husband, ask your friend, ask your people. I mean, I think that's the long-term answer, obviously, for like lifelong success. But I think there is a lot of people who really they're like, oh, I just want my kid to fit in.
No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Yes. I think that, and you know what? I don't know if Brighton, I'm assuming, is already at that age, but especially our oldest is at that age. The little guy doesn't care, which I'm almost concerned about. He's very content to play by himself, not play by himself. Like if he's playing something and playing with you and he's done, he's done. If he's playing something you don't want to play, he's fine with continuing to play it and playing it alone. Like very unbothered by whether or not, in fact,
he's
even
invited or included.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Has no problem if we're at something to get up and say, I don't want to participate in this. I'm just going to watch. Cool. Great. In fact, when he was in like preschool, the teachers would be like, hey, Hudson doesn't really play with the other kids as much as they play with each other. He's a very independent player.
Which is so crazy because Hudson plays with Brighton. Like,
yeah, loves her.
They play great together.
Yep.
I mean, and Jacob in the mix too, but like Hudson for sure.
For sure.
So
like if he's into it, he's super into it. But if he's not into it, I said to the woman, I was like, maybe he doesn't like the other kids.
I mean, what kind of losers do you have in your class, ma'am?
Seriously. But is that really the worst trait? Like, I think that's kind of a good trait.
It's absolutely, especially again, if you're thinking long-term, long-term, to just know yourself and know what you want to do and be content with your own company. I mean, most adults are still trying to learn how to do that.
Well, a mom that I'm close with, who I adore, we were having coffee recently and she had shared with me that her child had said of another child, oh, mom, such and such knows who I am. And I was like, oh, like, she's like, I don't love that. And I was like, I don't.
Wait, I don't get it. Wait,
like another kid, like a kid who they thought was more popular or whatever, like knows who they are. Like what a great day this is. And she's like, yes.
This is like at age 8.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That is heartbreaking.
Kind of, right? I mean, I get it.
I get it too.
I get it.
I mean,
trust me, I worked that cafeteria line. Some of these kids come through and I'm like, God, you're cool. Like you are, like you're in 4th grade and you are
just
owning,
cool.
You are just owning it today. You are just classically handsome or pretty or like you are, but you know what? The nice kids, when they come through the line, even if they're a little sheepish, like that's what gets me. The kids that say thank you, the kids that look me in the eye, the kids that, whatever.
Of course.
Like those are the ones who you're like, okay. Like, and when it's a combo, it's like looking at the sun. Like when you walk in here with your swagger and whatever else, and you take time to be nice and say thank you and strike up a conversation. I'm a sucker for like a 7-year-old who's like, you're Jacob's dad, aren't you? I'm like, yeah, how are you, girl? Like, what's going on? Like, tell me, what's your mom doing?
Right. Isn't it? Don't you wonder what those parents are doing to create that type of person or personality? And
but you know what? I think it's a lot of things that we talked about a couple episodes ago, starting with look people in the eye when you speak to them. There's a confidence. Hannah, who I host the 10 with, we were talking about the best advice dads ever gave, and I'll never forget the advice that her dad gave her when she was a kid, which was always walk with intent. And I really love that, right? And I think that some of these kids who really kind of carry themselves with intention, and I think that's a really good thing to have, even if you're unsure of what that intention is. Just knowing that
I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going somewhere.
I'm going somewhere. Going one foot in the front of the other. I'm going somewhere. And when I get there, maybe I have some choices to make. But like I'm in it. I'm on the road. I'm present. I'm engaged.
That's a great piece of advice.
Yeah.
Speaking of those friendships and those connections, are you noticing now that the boys are, as opposed to you coordinating, hey, do you want to get together, that maybe Jacob is initiating like, hey, I want to get together with so-and-so from my class?
Yeah, he's like, I picked him up at aftercare the other day and his little friend was like, hey, Jacob's dad, can we have a play date? And I was like, absolutely. What do you want to do? Like, let me call your dad and we'll figure it all out.
Initiating.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And then there are other kids where like there's this other kid in the cafeteria who goes, hey, you're Jacob's dad, aren't you? I said, yeah. He goes, I'm such and such. I'm his best friend. And I'm like, never heard of you.
Stop it. You did not say that. You better not have said that.
I
You're
didn't
going to
say
get booted from the lunchroom.
Never. I run
With your hairnet or whatever you're wearing over there.
We have hats this year.
Oh.
We have bistro hats. They're very nice.
So cool.
All right. Hey, we are back every Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. We do invite you to click like and subscribe so you can always be notified of a new episode on your favorite podcast platform. And remember, if you do nothing else today, go find yourself a friend you don't need to clean the house for. We'll see you next time.